Oh my gosh, the sun just got so bright right now. Okay, let's see. How's it going? This is Tim, and welcome to my channel. I'm just gonna jump right into it. This is my second video. Uh, my first real one, my first one just, me showing off my progress. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about my choice to cut my hair and why I decided to freeform lock in the first place almost a year ago. So if you know me in real life, you have probably known me to always have locks. It's not true. I wasn't born with locks. But I have had locks for most of my life at this point. My first set of locks I began in high school, middle of high school. I think it was right before I began 10th grade. And I had those through high school, and I think I had them for a total of 4 or 5 years before I cut them. And those locks, again, they're pretty skinny. I think I had between 70 and 80 locks if you counted them. I had dyed them many colors. They were blue, they were red, pink at some points. I had bleached them. But back then, I loved dyeing them, and yeah, I grew them until they got to about probably this length before I cut them. Led me to kind of like basically wear my hair in an afro for probably about half a year, and then I began my second set of locks. Those locks were a little bit thicker. They were started by a friend of mine in Philadelphia, and I kept those pretty natural in terms of I didn't dye them, and I would get them probably maintained, I don't know, maybe once a month at the beginning. And I had those locks for a long time. I had those up until last year. I cut them last June. So reasons why I cut them. I had been wanting to cut them for a while. Well, I had the itch to cut them really in 2017, but I did not because I was afraid that I would regret it. I was afraid that I would just look weird without having locks. I guess it was hard to imagine myself without locks at that point. The time that I had become a dad, so that might have been part of it. There's a lot of just changes going on in my life in general. So when I cut my hair, I actually cut it with the intention. It's kind of funny to me, at least. I cut my hair with the intention of instantly starting over again and relocking my hair. I didn't like how I looked when my locks were freshly maintained. I tend to prefer how I looked probably a few weeks out when there was some new growth kind of like covering like the roots. I didn't like seeing the parting of my hair. On top of that, I was kind of over having to just be extra careful of getting my hair wet. I kind of by the end of me having a second set of locks, I kind of just didn't care anyways. And the big reason was that I always had my locks up, just like a bun at the top of my head, and I used just like a headband to keep them in place. Sometimes I'd use my own locks, but most of the time I used a headband. And over time, I realized that I was doing it too much because my locks were thinning in the middle, and that area I realized was at the point where the headband was squeezing them. And so right before I cut my hair, there were a few locks that had just broken off, and it was like a long piece of them had broken off. A lot of my locks had become really uneven. I think that was kind of like what really did it. And so at that point, I was just trying to figure out how I wanted to go about doing it. I wonder what really made me take the leap and go ahead and just say, I'm going to go ahead and do this. It was really just, this is what I want to do. All the fear that I had about, me having regrets about cutting my hair, I don't know, they kind of just went away like overnight. I really just walked into the bathroom one time with scissors and cut off 2 locks and said, "Huh, that wasn't that hard," and then just did the rest. Um, and that's kind of how it happened. And again, it'll be a year next month. I haven't had any regrets about cutting my hair. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. I think even right now, I've never been happier with how my hair looks, and um, there is kind of like a desire for my hair to be long again, but um, it's really surprising how excited I get when I like wake up or just go into look in the mirror and just notice something different about my hair like every single day. Like 2 locks that kind of like gotten closer together, or one's like sticking up in a different direction, things like that. Uh, when I first cut my hair, I was like super eager for my hair to begin locking. I definitely was trying to speed things up a little bit. I was like, doing the towel thing for a little bit at some point. I was using oil in my hair. A few other things I had seen people try doing, but I don't know how much that really did for me. It might have helped a little bit, but it could have just been that by the time I started seeing progress, it was just my hair was already beginning to naturally lock on its own. So I don't know. At this point, I don't do anything. I'm really enjoying being able to wash my hair basically whenever I want. I think this past month I've washed my hair once a week, and I really enjoy just the feeling of letting just water get in your hair and not having to worry about your hair being wet. So how do I end this? It's much darker now because this is like a reshoot. I didn't like how the ending turned out before, but how do I end this? So I guess basically, you know, recently I've been focusing more on the process and the progression and the actual like um, actions in the moment that I'm taking in my life, and I'm trying to focus less on end goals. I still have plenty of goals that I want to accomplish, but you know, where did I hear this? Goals without planning is just dreaming, something like that. I probably butchered that. Where did I hear that? I don't remember, but that's definitely true. And I think part of that is really enjoying and embracing like the journey itself. And so my mindset has just really been kind of like in that space. And I've been enjoying it. And I think that's probably why I'm enjoying freeforming so much, because you've got to really embrace the process and the progress and the growth. Because if you're looking at just an end aesthetic or end results, you want that length, then you're going to be impatient and you're going to you may not find that you enjoy the awkward phases. I don't think there are awkward phases, but you might consider yourself in one because you're not where you want to be in your hair goals. So yeah, if you're thinking about starting locks, I think freeforming is a great way of doing it, or semi-freeforming, or however you want to do it. However you want to do it is going to be right for you. But I definitely think you should think about freeforming. It's a really beautiful way to let your hair be your hair. All right. Thanks for listening. If you're still listening, and I definitely hope to make more videos frequently. And if you want to see more, subscribe and like this video. And yeah, peace.